Jake Morrison walked through the busy halls of Nexus Station with his eyes moving left and right. The place was huge and filled with sounds from dozens of different alien species. Some made clicking noises, others hummed low songs, and a few just breathed really loud. Jake kept his right hand close to his weapon but tried to look relaxed. Next to him, Emma Collins looked around with wide eyes full of wonder. She was seeing all these aliens for the first time and seemed excited about everything. Emma was an engineer from Earth who came here to make trade deals with alien companies. She had brown hair tied back in a simple way and wore a blue jumpsuit with the Earth symbol on it. "Look at that one," Emma said quietly, pointing at a tall alien with purple skin and 4 arms. "I read about them in the files, but seeing them in person is amazing." Jake nodded but did not take his eyes off the crowd. He was a soldier from the Terran Defense Corps and his job was to keep Emma safe. The mission seemed simple when they gave it to him back on Earth, but now that he was here, he could feel that something was wrong. The station was like a giant wheel spinning in space. It had 5 levels, and each level was bigger than most cities. On Earth, the main level where they walked now was the market area. Hundreds of shops lined the walls, selling everything from food to weapons to things. Jake could not even guess what they were for. The air smelled strange, too. It was clean, but had a metallic taste that made Jake's nose itch. The gravity was a little lighter than Earth normal, so every step felt like he might bounce higher than he wanted to. Emma stopped at a shop run by a Zilani, one of the crystal people. The Zilani looked like a person made of clear blue glass with light moving inside their body. They were known for being smart and fair in business deals. "These are beautiful," Emma said, looking at some small crystals that changed colors when she moved her hand near them. "What do they do?" The Zilani shopkeeper spoke in a voice that sounded like wind chimes. "They store energy from emotions. Human female. When you feel happy or sad, they remember it and can play it back later." Emma smiled and picked up one of the crystals. It started glowing with a warm yellow light. "That's incredible. How much do they cost?" While Emma talked with the shopkeeper, Jake noticed movement in the crowd. 3 large figures were pushing through the other aliens, coming toward their shop. Jake recognized them right away. They were Vorthek, the bug-like aliens who thought they were better than everyone else. The Vorthek looked like giant insects that learned to walk on 2 legs. They had hard shells covering their bodies, long arms with sharp claws, and heads that reminded Jake of praying mantises from Earth, but these were 8 feet tall and built like tanks. The one in front was bigger than the others, and had scars all over his shell. Jake had seen his picture in the briefing files. This was Commander Zekthal, a Vorthik warrior who had fought in many battles and hated species he thought were weak. Jake moved closer to Emma but tried not to look worried. He touched his earpiece and spoke very quietly. "This is Morrison. We have 3 Vorthik approaching. The big one is Zekthal." A voice came back through his earpiece. It was Captain Hayes, his team leader. "Copy that. We see them. Stay calm and let us know if you need help." Jake looked around the market but could not see any of his team members. That was good. It meant they were doing their job and staying hidden. Emma was still talking to the Zilani shopkeeper about the crystals. She had no idea that dangerous aliens were walking toward them. Jake wanted to grab her and leave, but that might make things worse. The Vorthak might see running as a sign that humans were cowards. The 3 Vorthak stopped about 10 feet away from the crystal shop. They stood there watching Emma with their big black eyes. Other aliens in the market started to notice and began moving away from the area. Jake counted the exits. There were 3 ways out of this part of the market. The main hallway they came from, a smaller path that led to the food courts, and an emergency exit that probably had alarms. None of them were very close. Emma finally picked a crystal and paid the Zilani shopkeeper. She turned around with a big smile and almost bumped into Jake. "Sorry," she said. "I was so excited about these crystals that I forgot you were there. Did you know they can store emotions? I want to show this to the science team back on Earth." "That's great," Jake said, but his eyes were still on the Vorthak. "Maybe we should head back to our ship now?" You have that big meeting tomorrow morning? Emma looked at her watch. You're right. Time flies when you're having fun. She started walking toward the main hallway, but the three Vorthik moved to block their path. Now, other aliens were definitely staying away from this area. Some were even pointing and whispering to each other. Commander Zekthal stepped forward. When he moved, his shell made clicking sounds like armor rubbing together. He was even bigger up close, and Jake could see that some of his scars looked like they came from fights with other dangerous creatures. Human, Zekthal said in a voice. That sounded like gravel falling down a metal tube. You are in my way. Emma looked confused. She looked behind her and then to the left and right. There was plenty of room for the Vorthak to walk around them. I'm sorry, Emma said politely. There's lots of space. You can go around us if you need to get by. The other two Vorthak made a sound that might have been laughing. It sounded like someone crushing dry leaves. Zekthal's eyes got smaller. You think you can tell me what to do, soft creature? You humans are new here. You do not understand how things work. Jake stepped forward just a little bit. We don't want any trouble. We're just trying to get back to our ship. I was not talking. To you, human male, Zekthal said without looking at Jake. I was talking to the female. She needs to learn respect. Emma's face changed. She was not smiling anymore. Jake had seen that look before during their trip to the station. Emma was smart and strong, and she did not like being talked down to by anyone. I respect everyone until they give me a reason not to, Emma said in a calm voice. Right now, you're being rude for no reason? The market got very quiet. Even the background noise from the air system seemed to stop. Jake could feel his heart beating faster. This was exactly what he had been worried about. Zekthal raised himself up to his full height. His claws came out of his hands and they looked very sharp. You dare speak to a Vorthak warrior like that? Your species is weak. You have no claws, no armor, no strength. You're nothing but soft meat. Jake's hand moved toward his weapon, but he stopped. If he drew his gun now, it would start a fight that might hurt innocent people in the market. But if he did nothing, Zekthal might hurt Emma. Emma stood her ground. She was much smaller than the Vorthik, but she did not look scared. Being different doesn't make us weak, it just makes us different. We shall see about that, Zekthal said, and his claws started moving toward Emma's face. Zekthal's claws moved closer to Emma's face, but she did not step back. Jake could see the sharp points getting near her skin, and his muscles got tight. He was ready to jump forward, but Emma held up her hand just a little bit to tell him to wait. You're making a mistake, Emma said to the big Vorthak. Her voice was steady and calm. I haven't done anything to you. Zekthal made that crushing leaves sound again. Your mistake was coming to this station, human female. Your species thinks you can walk among real warriors like you belong here, but you are soft and weak. You have no place in the galaxy. The crystal Emma had bought was still in her other hand. It was glowing brighter now, changing from yellow to orange to red. The Zilani shopkeeper who sold it to her was watching from behind his counter with his glowing eyes wide with fear. More aliens in the market had stopped what they were doing to watch. Some of them looked excited, like they were about to see a good fight. Others looked worried and were moving their children away from the area. A few were taking pictures with their alien cameras. Jake spoke into his earpiece very quietly. Hayes, I need backup now. He's about to hurt her. Hold your position, came the reply. We're moving into place. Jake looked around fast, but still could not see any of his team. He trusted them, but right now he felt very alone. Emma was depending on him, and he could not let her get hurt. One of the other Vorthak, a female with darker shell colors, stepped closer. Commander, perhaps we should just push past them. The human female is not worth our time. But Zekthal was not listening. His big black eyes were fixed on Emma's face. No, she needs to learn. All humans need to learn. They think they are special, because they have machines and ships. But take away their technology and they are nothing. Emma finally took a small step back, not because she was scared, but because she was getting angry. Jake could tell by the way she held her shoulders. He had seen her get mad at stupid people before, and it was not pretty. You don't know anything. About humans, Emma said. You think strength only comes from claws and shells, but you're wrong. Am I? Zekthal raised his claws higher. Then show me your strength, soft creature. Show me what makes humans so special. The crystal in Emma's hand was now glowing bright red. The Zilani shopkeeper made a small noise of worry. Careful, human female, the crystal is reading very strong emotions. It might overload. But Emma was not thinking about the crystal anymore. She was thinking about all the times people had called her weak or stupid just because she was smaller or different. She was thinking about all the times she had to work twice as hard to prove herself. And she was thinking about how this big bug creature thought he could scare her. You want to see human strength? Emma asked. Fine, but you won't like what you find. Zekthal's claws came down fast toward Emma's face. Jake started to move, but something else happened first. The crystal in Emma's hand exploded, not with fire or pieces flying everywhere, but with pure light and sound. The emotions stored inside it, mixed with Emma's anger and fear, burst out in a wave of energy that hit everyone nearby. Zekthal stumbled backward, his claws covering his eyes. The other two Vorthik made high-pitched noises of pain. All around the market, aliens dropped to the ground or ran away screaming, but Emma and Jake were not hurt. Humans, it turned out, could handle their own emotions better than most aliens could. What did you do? Zekthal roared, still covering his eyes. I got emotional, Emma said, dropping the now dark crystal. Humans do that sometimes. Jake used the confusion to step between Emma and the Vorthak. His weapon was in his hand now, a small but powerful plasma pistol. I think you should leave now. But Zekthal was not giving up. He was embarrassed and, angry and wanted to hurt someone. You used a weapon, he said. That is cheating. No, said a new voice. That was just human. Everyone turned to see who was talking. It was an old alien with gray skin and long arms. Jake recognized him as Dr. Vex, one of the station's medical officers. He was a Keth, the smart amphibian people who knew a lot about different species. The crystal was reacting to her emotions, Dr. Vex explained. Humans have very strong feelings, and the crystal just stored them up and let them out all at once. She did not know it would happen. Lies, Zekthal said. But he did not sound as sure as before. No lies, Dr. Vex said. I have studied humans for many years. They are much more complex than you think, Commander. Their emotions are powerful. Their minds work in ways we do not understand, and they care about each other more than most. Species care about their own families. Caring is weakness, Zekthal said. Is it? Dr. Vex asked. Look around you, Commander. Look at the human male. He is smaller than you, has no claws, no armor. But he stepped between you and someone he is supposed to protect. He was ready to fight you even though you could probably kill him. Is that weakness? Jake kept his gun pointed at Zekthal, but he was listening too. He did not think of himself as brave. He was just doing his job. And look at the female, Dr. Vex continued. You threatened her and she did not run. She did not cry or beg. She stood up to you and spoke her mind. Then when you tried to hurt her, she accidentally showed you power you did not know existed. Is that weakness? The other aliens in the market who had not run away were nodding their heads. Some of them were even clapping their hands or making whatever sounds their species made when they agreed with something. Zekthal looked around and saw that no one was on his side anymore. Even his two Vorthak friends looked uncomfortable. This is not over, he said to Emma and Jake. Yes, it is, said another voice. This time it was station security. 3 aliens in black uniforms came walking up fast. The one in front was tall and thin with blue skin and 4 eyes. Jake had seen her before. She was chief security officer, Naltara, and she did not like troublemakers. Commander Zekthal, she said in a voice that sounded like she was very tired. We have been watching you. You started this fight. You threatened peaceful visitors to our station. You disturbed our market and scared our merchants. The humans used a weapon, Zekthal said, pointing at the broken crystal on the floor. No, Chief Naltara said. The humans defended themselves, and they showed restraint. The male could have Shot you, but he did not. The female could have run, but she did not. They acted with honor while you acted like a bully. She turned to her officers. Escort Commander Zekthil and his companions back to their ship. Tell them they are no longer welcome in the market area. You cannot do this to me, Zekthil said. I am a Vorthic warrior. I have rights. You have the right to leave, Chief Naltara said. Now. The security officers moved closer to the three Vorthek. Zekthil looked like he wanted to fight, but he was outnumbered and everyone was watching. Finally, he turned and walked away with his friends following behind him as they left. Jake heard one of the other Vorthek say, Commander, maybe we should learn more about humans before we judge them. Shut up, Zekthil replied, but he did not sound as confident as before. Chief Naltara turned to Emma and Jake. Are you hurt? No, we're fine, Emma said. Thank you for your help. It is my job, the chief said. But I want you to know that not all aliens think like Zekthil. Many of us are interested in learning about humans and working with you. She looked at the broken crystal on the floor. I have never seen anything like that before. How did you do it? Emma looked embarrassed. I didn't mean to. I was just angry and scared, and the crystal was storing my emotions. When everything came out at once, it was too much for the crystal to handle. Interesting, Chief Naltara said. Human emotions are stronger than we thought. We will need to study this more. Jake put his weapon away and touched his earpiece. All clear, stand down. Copy that, came Captain Hayes' voice. Good work. Emma picked up the pieces of the broken crystal. I'm sorry about this, she said to the Zilani shopkeeper. I'll pay for the damage. No need, the shopkeeper said. That was the most interesting thing that has happened in my shop in 50 years. Keep the pieces. They might still have some power left. As Emma and Jake walked away from the crystal shop, other aliens in the market watched them with new respect. Some even nodded politely or made friendly gestures. Well, Emma said, that was not how I expected today to go. Welcome to space, Jake replied. It's never boring. But as they walked toward their ship, Jake could not shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. Word about what happened would spread quickly through the station and beyond. Soon, every alien in the sector would know that humans were not as weak as they looked. The question was, would that make things better or worse for humanity? Emma and Jake walked through the quieter halls of Nexus Station toward their ship. The crowd in the market had gone back to normal, but Jake noticed that many aliens were still looking at them. Some looked curious, others seemed worried, and a few appeared to be whispering to their friends about what they had seen. Do you think we're in trouble? Emma asked as they turned down a long hallway lined with viewing windows that showed the stars outside. I don't think so, Jake said. Chief Naltara seemed to be on our side, and you didn't do anything wrong. That crystal thing was an accident. Emma looked at the broken pieces in her hand. They were still warm and had a faint glow inside them. I've never felt anything like that before. It was like all my emotions got mixed up and then exploded out of me. Maybe that's something humans can do that other aliens can't, Jake said. Dr. Vex seemed to think we're different in ways nobody understands yet. They reached the docking area where their ship was parked. The UES Liberty was a small diplomatic vessel with enough room for a crew of 12 and some basic weapons for protection. It was not the biggest or strongest ship in the docking bay, but it was fast and reliable. As they walked up the ramp into their ship, Jake felt better. This was human territory now, with human air and human gravity and human food. After dealing with aliens all day, it was nice to be somewhere that felt like home. Jake, Emma, how did it go? Captain Lisa Hayes was waiting for them in the main cabin. She was a tall woman with short black hair and sharp eyes that missed nothing. She had been Jake's commanding officer for 3 years, and he trusted her completely. We had some trouble with Vorthek, Jake said. 3 of them, led by Commander Zekthil. He tried to start a fight with Emma. Captain Hayes' face got serious. Are you hurt? No, but something strange happened, Emma said. She told the captain about the crystal and how it exploded when her emotions got too strong. Interesting, Captain Hayes said. We'll need to report this to command. They'll want to study what happened. Captain, Jake said, I think there might be more trouble coming. Zekthal didn't look like the kind of person who gives up easily, and he was embarrassed in front of everyone. You're probably right, the captain said. That's why I called the team back to the ship. Everyone should be here soon. As if she had planned it, the ship's door opened and 3 more people came in. Jake recognized them all. There was Sergeant Danny Cooper, a big man with red hair who was an expert with explosives. Behind him came Dr. Kate Wilson, the team's medical officer and scientist. And last was Lieutenant Ben Rogers, their communications specialist. Hey, Jake, Emma, Danny said with a big smile. We heard you two had some excitement in the market. News travels fast, Emma said. Especially when it involves humans doing something. That surprises aliens, Dr. Wilson said. She was a small woman with gray hair and glasses who had been studying alien biology for 20 years. I've been getting calls from researchers all over the station asking about what happened. Captain Hayes sat down at the main table and motioned for everyone else to join her. Okay, let's talk about this. Jake, tell me exactly what happened from the beginning. Jake told the whole story from when they first noticed the Vorthik following them to when station security escorted Zekthal away. Emma added details about how the crystal felt and what she was thinking when it exploded. So the crystal stored your emotions and then released them all at once, Dr. Wilson said. That's fascinating. It means human emotions might be more powerful than we realized. Or maybe other aliens just don't have emotions as strong as ours, Lieutenant Rogers suggested. I've been listening to station communications, and there are a lot of confused aliens out there trying to figure out what humans are capable of. Captain Hayes leaned back in her chair. This could be a problem. If aliens think we have some kind of emotion weapon, they might see us as a threat. Or they might see us as something to be studied, Dr. Wilson said. I've already had 3 different research groups ask if they can run tests on Emma. Nobody is running tests on anyone, Captain Hayes said firmly. Emma is here to do a job, not to be a lab rat. Jake's communicator beeped. He looked at it and frowned. Captain, I'm getting a message from station security. They want to see us in the security office. All of us? Captain Hayes asked. Just Emma and me, Jake said. I don't like it, the captain said. It could be a trap. Chief Naltara seemed honest, Emma said. And she helped us when Zekthal was causing trouble. Captain Hayes thought about it for a moment. Okay, but you don't go alone. Take Danny with you. And keep your communicators on. If anything goes wrong, we'll come get you. 20 minutes later, Jake, Emma, and Danny were sitting in Chief Naltara's office. The security chief looked tired and had several data pads on her desk covered with reports. Thank you for coming, she said. I wanted to talk to you about what happened in the market today. Are we in trouble? Emma asked. No, not at all, Chief Naltara said. But we have a situation. Word about the crystal incident has spread very quickly, too quickly. She turned one of her data pads around so they could see it. On the screen was a video of Emma and the exploding crystal, taken by one of the aliens who had been watching. This video has been sent to news networks across the galaxy, the chief said. Within hours, billions of beings will know that humans have some kind of emotional power that can overload Zolani technology. But it was an accident, Emma said. I didn't mean to do it. I know that, and you know that, Chief Naltara said. But other people might not see it that way. Some will think humans are hiding dangerous abilities. Others will think you're weak because you can't control your emotions. And some will want to test you to see what else you can do. Danny leaned forward. What kind of tests? The kind that hurt people, the chief said. I've already had to turn away 2 groups of scientists who wanted to study Miss Collins. And I've received reports that several alien mercenary groups are asking questions about human emotional responses. Jake felt cold. You think someone might try to kidnap Emma? It's possible, Chief Naltara said. That's why I wanted to talk to you. I can provide extra security while you're on the station. But once you leave, you'll be on your own. We can handle ourselves, Danny said. I'm sure you can, the chief said. But you should know that Commander Zekthal has been talking to other Vorthik about what happened. He's telling them that humans used a secret weapon against him. Not true, Emma said. Truth doesn't matter when people are angry and embarrassed, Chief Naltara said. Zekthal is a war hero among his people. When word gets out that he was defeated by a human female, it will damage his reputation. He'll want revenge. Jake stood up. Then we should leave the station as soon as possible. That might be wise? The chief agreed. But there's something else you should know. The Galactic Commerce Guild has been watching this situation very carefully. They're the ones Emma came here to negotiate with. What do they think about what happened? Emma asked. Chief Naltara smiled for the first time since they had arrived. They're impressed. The guild values strength and intelligence. What you did today showed both? They want to move up your meeting to tomorrow morning. That's good news, Emma said. Yes, but it's also dangerous, the chief said. If the meeting goes well, other aliens will see humans as valuable partners. If it goes badly, they might see you as a threat that needs to be eliminated. Danny scratched his head. So we're damned if we do and damned if we don't. Welcome to Galactic Politics, Chief Naltara said. It's never simple. She handed Jake a small device. This is an emergency communicator? If you need help while you're on the station, press the red button. My security teams will respond immediately. Thank you, Jake said. We appreciate your help. As they left the security office, Emma was quiet. Finally, she said, I never thought buying a crystal would cause so much trouble. It's not your fault. Jake said, you couldn't have known what would happen. But now everyone is going to be watching us, Emma said. Every human who comes to this station will be judged by what I did today. Maybe that's not a bad thing, Danny said. Maybe it's time aliens learn that humans are more than they appear to be. I hope you're right, Emma said. Because tomorrow's meeting is going to determine whether humans are welcome in this part of the galaxy or not. As they walked back to their ship, none of them noticed the small alien following them from a distance. It had been listening to their conversation and was now hurrying away to report what it had heard. The game was about to change, and everyone wanted to know what humans were really capable of. By the time they reached the Liberty, Captain Hayes was waiting for them with more news. I just got a call from Earth Command, she said. They've been monitoring the situation and they're sending reinforcements? How many? Jake asked. A full battle group, the captain said. 12 ships including the heavy cruiser Defiant. They'll be here in 3 days. Emma looked worried. That seems like a lot of ships for a trade negotiation. Command thinks this situation is bigger than just trade, Captain Hayes said. If humans are going to be accepted as equals in the galaxy, we need to show that we can defend ourselves and our allies. Or we could start a war, Danny said quietly. The next morning came too fast for Emma. She had not slept well because she kept thinking about the meeting with the Galactic Commerce Guild. Everything that happened yesterday had made this meeting much more important than anyone had planned. Emma put on her best blue uniform and made sure her hair was neat. She looked at herself in the mirror and took a deep breath. You can do this, she said to herself. You're here to help humanity join the galactic community. Don't mess it up. Jake was waiting for her in the main cabin along with Captain Hayes and the rest of the team. Everyone looked serious and ready for trouble. How are you feeling, Captain? Hayes asked Emma. Nervous, Emma said honestly, but ready. Good, the captain said. Remember, this meeting is about trade agreements, but after yesterday, it's really about whether aliens will accept humans as equals. Dr. Wilson handed Emma a small scanner. I want you to wear this. It will record everything that happens and monitor your emotional state. After what happened with the crystal, we need to understand how human emotions affect alien technology. Emma clipped the scanner to her belt. It was so small that nobody would notice it unless they looked very carefully. The meeting is in Conference Room 7 on Level 3, Jake said. It's a neutral area controlled by station security, so it should be safe. Should be, Danny said. But I'll be nearby just in case. We all will, Captain Hayes said. This is too important to take any chances. As they left the ship, Emma noticed that the docking bay was busier than usual. Several new ships had arrived during the night, including some she did not recognize. Security guards were everywhere, and she could see aliens with cameras and recording equipment. "Looks like we have an audience," Jake said quietly. "The whole galaxy is watching," Captain Hayes replied. "No pressure." They took the elevator to level 3. The conference room was in the administrative section of the station, away from the markets and entertainment areas. The halls here were quieter and more formal, with white walls and soft lighting. Conference room 7 was bigger than Emma had expected. It had a large oval table in the center with chairs for about 20 people. The walls were covered with screens showing views of space and information about different alien governments. 5 aliens were already sitting at the table when Emma and Jake entered. Emma recognized them from her briefing files. These were the representatives of the Galactic Commerce Guild, the organization that controlled most trade between different alien species. The leader was Administrator Quintal, the same Zelani who had watched the incident in the market yesterday. His crystal body was glowing with soft blue light, which Emma had learned meant he was calm and focused. Next to him sat Trade Commissioner Veltar, a tall alien with green skin and 4 arms. She was from the Nexari species, who were known for being very good at business and making deals. The other 3 were a Keth scientist named Dr. Merlin, a small furry alien called Pipit from the Fenari species, and a robot-like being known as Unit 7, who represented the artificial intelligences that lived in the outer systems. "Welcome, Emma Collins of Earth," Administrator Quintal said in his wind chime voice. "Please sit down. We have much to discuss." Emma sat across from the guild representatives with Jake beside her. She could feel her heart beating fast, but she tried to look calm and confident. "Before we begin," Trade Commissioner Veltar said, "we must address what happened yesterday in the market. The entire galaxy has seen the recording of your encounter with Commander Zechthel." Emma's stomach dropped. This was not how she had wanted to start the meeting. "I'm sorry about that," Emma said. "It was an accident. I didn't mean to cause any trouble." "Trouble?" Dr. Merlin said with a sound that might have been laughter. "My dear human, you did not cause trouble. You caused a revolution." Emma looked confused. "I don't understand." Administrator Quintal glow got brighter. "For 50 years, the Vorthic have been bullying smaller species in this sector. They use their size and strength to intimidate others into unfair deals. Many civilizations have suffered because of their behavior. But yesterday," Trade Commissioner Veltar continued, "a small human female stood up to their greatest warrior and defeated him without violence, without weapons, and without even trying. Do you understand what this means?" "That humans are dangerous?" Emma asked. "No," Unit 7 said in a voice that sounded like a computer. "That humans are different. And different can be very valuable." Dr. Merlin leaned forward. "Tell me, Emma Collins, what were you feeling when the crystal exploded?" Emma thought about it. "I was angry that he was being mean for no reason. I was scared that he might hurt me. But mostly I was frustrated because I hate bullies." "Fascinating," Dr. Merlin said, making notes on a datapad. "Most species experience fear and anger as separate emotions that weaken them. But humans seem to combine them into something stronger." Pipit, the small furry alien, spoke for the first time. Her voice was high and squeaky. "We have studied the crystal fragments from yesterday. The energy patterns are unlike anything we have seen before. Human emotions create a unique resonance that can affect many types of technology." "Is that bad?" Emma asked. "On the contrary," Administrator Quintal said. "It could be very useful. There are many devices in the galaxy that respond to emotional energy. If humans can control this ability, you could become valuable partners in many different fields." Trade Commissioner Veltar opened a folder full of documents. "Which brings us to why we are here. The original trade agreement your government proposed was for basic resources and simple manufactured goods. But after yesterday, we want to offer something much bigger." She slid a document across the table to Emma. "We want to invite humanity to become a full member of the Galactic Commerce Guild." Emma stared at the paper. She had not expected this. At all, what does that mean? It means humans would have access to all guild trade routes, technology exchanges, and diplomatic protections, Unit 7 explained. You would be treated as equals with all other member species. But there would be responsibilities too, Dr. Merlin added. Member species are expected to help maintain peace and order in guild space. Sometimes that means dealing with troublemakers like the Vorthak. Emma looked at Jake, who seemed as surprised as she was. This was much more than anyone had hoped. I would need to discuss this with my government, Emma said. This is a much bigger decision than I'm authorized to make. Of course, Administrator Quintal said. But we wanted you to know that the offer is on the table. Yesterday showed us that humans have qualities we value: courage, loyalty, and the ability to surprise your enemies. There is one condition, Trade Commissioner Veltar said. We need to understand this emotional ability better. Would your government be willing to allow some of your people to work with our scientists to study how human emotions interact with technology? I think they would be interested, Emma said. As long as the research is safe and voluntary. Absolutely, Dr. Merlin said. We want to learn from humans, not hurt them. Unit 7's lights flashed in a pattern that Emma guessed meant he was thinking, there is something else you should know. The Vorthak government has filed a formal complaint about yesterday's incident. They claim humans used an illegal weapon against Commander Zekthal. Emma felt cold. What kind of complaint? They want the guild to ban humans from all guild stations and trade routes, Pippet said sadly. They say you are too dangerous to be allowed in civilized space. But that's not fair, Emma said. I didn't do anything wrong. We know that. Administrator Quindle said. That is why we are making this offer. If humans become guild members, you will have our protection against false accusations. It's also why we moved this meeting up, Trade Commissioner Veltar said. The Guild Council will vote on the Vorthak complaint tomorrow. If we can announce that humans are joining the guild, it will carry much more weight than if you are still outsiders. Emma realized that this meeting was not just about trade anymore. It was about humanity's entire future in space. If the guild rejected them, humans might be banned from this part of the galaxy. If they accepted the membership offer, humanity would become a major power overnight. I need to contact my government immediately, Emma said. Of course, Administrator Quintal said. You have until tomorrow morning to give us an answer. As the meeting ended, Emma felt overwhelmed. She had come here to negotiate a simple trade deal and ended up holding humanity's future in her hands. Jake helped her gather the documents. You did great, he said quietly. Did I? Emma asked. I feel like I'm in way over my head. Welcome to diplomacy, Jake said with a smile. Nobody ever feels ready for the big decisions. As they left the conference room, Emma saw that the hallway was full of aliens with cameras and recording equipment. Word about the meeting had spread quickly and everyone wanted to know what had happened. No comment, Jake said firmly as they pushed through the crowd toward the elevator. But Emma could hear the aliens talking to each other in dozens of different languages. Some sounded excited, others worried, and a few seemed angry. Whatever. Humanity decided it was going to change everything. Back on the Liberty, Captain Hayes was waiting with an encrypted communication link to Earth already open. How did it go? She asked. We need to talk to Command right now, Emma said. The whole game. 3 hours later, Emma sat in front of the communication screen talking to President Miller and the Earth Defense Council. The faces on the screen looked serious as they listened to her report about the Guild's offer. Let me make sure I understand this correctly, President Miller said. They want to make humanity a full member of the most powerful trade organization in the galaxy, but we have less than 24 hours to decide? Yes, sir, Emma said. And if we say no, the Vorthak complaint might get us banned from this entire sector of space. Defense Secretary Cheng leaned forward. What's your opinion, Collins? You've been dealing with these aliens face to face. Do you think we can trust them? Emma thought carefully before answering. I think the guild representatives are honest. They seem to genuinely want humans as partners. But this is happening. Very fast because of what I did in the market. They might be making this offer while emotions are running high. Speaking of emotions, said Dr. Park from the Science Council, we need to talk about this crystal incident. Can you really affect alien technology with your feelings? I don't know, Emma said. It only happened once and I wasn't trying to do it. Dr. Wilson thinks it might be something all humans can do under the right conditions. Dr. Wilson stepped into view of the camera. The readings from Emma's scanner show that human emotional energy operates on frequencies that most alien technology isn't designed to handle. It's like we accidentally found a backdoor into their systems. That could be very useful, General Hayes said. Or very dangerous if other species decide we're a threat. Captain Hayes joined the conversation. Sir, I think we need to consider the military implications. If humans join the Guild, we'll have access to advanced technology and defensive treaties. If we don't, we might face multiple hostile alien governments. President Miller nodded. What? About the reinforcements that are coming? The battle group with the Defiant? They'll arrive tomorrow afternoon, Captain Hayes said. After the Guild Council vote? So we have to make this decision without military backup, Defense Secretary Zhang said. That's not ideal. Emma could see the worry on everyone's faces. This was not how first contact with galactic civilization was supposed to go. Humanity was supposed to have years to prepare and plan. Instead, they had to make the biggest decision in human history based on one incident in an alien market. There's something else, said. The Guild wants some humans to work with their scientists to study our emotional abilities. They say it would be voluntary and safe, but we'd be letting aliens experiment on our people. Absolutely not, Dr. Park said immediately. We don't know enough about alien science to trust them with human test subjects. But if we say no to that part, they might withdraw the membership offer. Emma pointed out. President Miller rubbed his forehead. This is moving too fast. We need more time to think about all the implications. Sir, Emma said, I don't think we have that luxury. The Guild Council meets tomorrow morning station time. If we're not ready with an answer, they'll assume we're not interested. Jake leaned into the camera view. Mr. President, I've been watching the aliens on this station for the past 2 days. They're all talking about humans now. Some are curious, some are worried, and some are making plans. If we don't take this offer, I think we'll face a lot more problems than just the Vorthek. What kind of problems? General Hayes asked. Every species out here is going to want to test us now, Jake said. They'll want to see what humans can really do. Some will try to recruit us, others will try to eliminate us as a threat. Right now, the Guild is offering us protection. Without it, we'll be on our own. Emma watched the faces on the screen as the leaders of humanity tried to make an impossible decision. She felt responsible for putting them in this position, but she also felt like this might be the best chance humanity would ever get. Sir, Emma said quietly, I know this is scary and fast and not what anyone planned, but I've seen how these aliens treat species they consider weak. The Vorthak aren't the only ones who think might makes right. If we show fear now, if we turn down this chance because we're worried about the risks, they'll see us as victims instead of partners. President Miller looked at her for a long moment. What would you do, Collins, if this decision was entirely up to you? Emma took a deep breath. I'd say yes. Not because it's safe, but because it's right. Humans don't back down from bullies, and we don't abandon our friends. If the Guild wants us as members, it means they see us as equals. That's what we came out here looking for. The communication went quiet for several minutes while the Earth leaders talked among themselves with their microphones turned off. Emma could see them arguing but couldn't hear what they were saying. Finally, President Miller came back on screen. We've made our decision. Emma, you're authorized to accept the Guild's membership offer on behalf of humanity. Emma felt relief and terror at the same time. What about the research program? We'll agree to limited cooperation, Dr. Park said. But only with volunteers, only with human observers present, and only for non-invasive studies. Make that very clear. Yes, sir. Emma said, what if the Vorthak try to cause more trouble? Let us worry about that, General Hayes said. The battle group will be there soon, and we're sending diplomatic reinforcements as well. You've done more than enough already. After the communication ended, Emma sat back in her chair feeling exhausted. In 3 days, she had gone from a simple trade negotiator to the person who brought humanity into galactic civilization. You okay? Jake asked. I think so, Emma said. It's just hard to believe this is really happening. Captain Hayes put her hand on Emma's shoulder. You should be proud. Not many people get to change the course of history. I hope I made the right choice, Emma said. There was no right choice, the captain said. There was only the choice you could live with. And I think you picked well. The next morning, Emma returned to Conference Room 7 with Jake and Captain Hayes. The guild representatives were already there, along with several new aliens Emma didn't recognize. The room felt more formal and serious than the day before. Have you reached a decision? Administrator Quintal asked. Yes, Emma said, standing up straight. On behalf of the government and people of Earth, I accept humanity's membership in the Galactic Commerce Guild. The reaction was immediate. Administrator Quintal's crystal body flashed with bright colors. Trade Commissioner Veltar clapped all 4 of her hands together. Dr. Merlin made happy chirping sounds, and even Unit 7's lights blinked in what looked like celebration. Excellent, Administrator Quintal said. Welcome to the galactic community, Emma Collins of Earth. What happens now? Emma asked. Now we make it official, Trade Commissioner Veltar said. She pulled out a device that looked like a crystal tablet. This is the guild charter. When you sign it, humanity becomes our newest member species. Emma took the tablet. It was warm to the touch and seemed to glow brighter when she held it. Do I just write my name? Place your hand flat on the surface and state your name and authority, Unit 7 instructed. The device will record your biometric signature and make the agreement binding. Emma put her hand on the tablet. I am Emma Collins, authorized representative of the United Earth Government. I accept membership in the Galactic Commerce Guild on behalf of all humanity. The tablet flashed with brilliant light and made a sound like singing crystals. When the light faded, Emma could see her handprint glowing softly in the surface. It is done, Administrator Quintal said. Humanity is now a full member of the Guild with all rights and responsibilities that come with that status. And the Vorthok complaint? Captain Hayes asked. Dismissed? Trade Commissioner Veltar said with satisfaction. Guild members are protected from false accusations. Commander Zekthal will have to find someone else to bully. As they left the conference room, Emma was surprised to find hundreds of aliens waiting in the hallway. But instead of the angry crowd she had expected, they were cheering and making happy noises. Some held signs with words she couldn't read, but the pictures showed humans and aliens working together. Word travels fast, Jake said with a smile. Good news always does, said a familiar voice behind them. Emma turned to see Chief Naltara approaching with several other station officials. Congratulations, the security chief said. This is a historic day for everyone. The Guild hasn't accepted a new member species in over 200 years. What changed their minds? Emma asked. Chief Naltara smiled. You did. You showed them that humans have something special. You stand up for what's right even when it's dangerous. You protect each other no matter the cost. And you surprise your enemies in ways they never expect. As Emma, Jake, and Captain Hayes walked back to their ship through crowds of celebrating aliens, Emma thought about how much had changed. In just a few days, she had come to Nexus Station as a simple engineer hoping to make a trade deal. She was leaving as the person who brought humanity into the galactic community. So what happens next? Emma asked Captain Hayes. Next, we go home and help prepare humanity for its new role in the galaxy, the captain said. There will be a lot of work to do. New technologies to learn, new relationships to build, new challenges to face. But at least we won't face them alone, Jake added, looking at the alien friends they had made.